When it comes down to it, quail is most often what we use to pay for our feed bills on the farm. So most of our quails do go up for sale. We have 2 incubators that we rotate through, so we have chicks about every 2 weeks or so. But again, we don't keep most of them. When it comes to how many pins you want or how often you want to rotate out your quail, that's going to kind of be up to you and what you want to do with your quail. Are you looking to be sustainable and eat them just for your family? Are you looking for egg production? Are you looking for sales? It kind of just depends on what you want to do and how many you need to produce. We currently have 6 pens, 3 of which are full. And I am just slowly working on keeping the chicks that I really like out of our hatches so I can separate them out by color and work on the genetics projects I've been working on. But I currently right now have about 40 hens. And with that amount of hens, that allows me to keep my incubators full while also having enough eggs to eat for our family. Like I said, we are looking at expanding those numbers as we get more that I like. When it comes to switching out our breeding stock, we look at switching out the hens about every year to 18 months, and all of our roosters get switched out about every 6 months. It is that time of the month again where we are waiting on babies. And I know that my Rex and my mini Rex that I bred for the month are like pregnant, like I'm 90% sure. And this is the only baby that I'm not sure is going to have any kits. This is Vanessa. She's my silver fox, and I hope she has kits, but that is not a pregnancy belly in my mind. She hasn't been nesting, but again, we bred her with a couple of bucks that were babies, and I say a couple because the first buck didn't know what he was doing, and the second buck kind of knew what he's doing, so hopefully she's pregnant. If not, oh well. She just gave us a nice litter of 5 babies and had a 100% success rate. So if she needed a bit longer of a break, that's cool too. This is one that is a pregnancy belly. She is so fat. I always have no problems, no questions, no worries when it comes to one. She has been nesting and moving things around. She should start pulling hair tomorrow because of her due date, but we shall see. But one is an excellent mother. She's actually the mom of that chinchilla litter that we've been following. I'm not looking to keep anything out of this litter. This litter is mostly for meat unless we get something absolutely spectacular. Penguin also has a huge pregnancy belly, and I haven't seen her nesting, but she is a last-minute nester. I also really need this doe to have babies so I can get another nail trim done on her. I try not to bug moms too much by taking them out of their cages when they are pregnant, but this girl's nails grow like crazy, and she's one of those does that I actually trim nails about every 2 weeks. So during her pregnancy time, a lot of times I get behind on nail clippings for her so they get a little long. Oof, look at that pregnancy flop. I'm hoping that she has a gorgeous little tri-colored baby. In her last litter, she had a Harlequin and she had a Charlie tricolor. So if she can just give me a nice tricolor this time, that'd be like super amazing. But this would only be Penguin's second litter, so I'm really excited to see how she does because she did lose 1 kit, but she did have a litter of 8. So not too bad, 7 out of 8 surviving, that's actually pretty good. But that is one pregnant looking belly. That's a fat belly. So super excited to see how she does. And in case y'all were curious, there's our little champagne baby sitting with its mini Rex siblings. Thankfully, she is starting to gain weight compared to her siblings, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm really anxious about gender. I keep checking, but they're still too small and too young yet that I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that Champagne is a doe. This is Toothless. Toothless is our little mini Rex buck. He is about 12 weeks old. He was out of a litter that I was really hoping was going to be a doe. He is not a doe, he is a buck. So our problem is that he is not better than his father, Strawberry. Although it seems like all of Strawberry's kits have their father's personalities. And that is both good and bad. But if we get him posed up and everything. He is an absolutely gorgeous boy. He has a really nice depth to him. I don't like his shoulder as much as his father's, and it doesn't go into the best high point, but overall, he is a gorgeous little buck, and he might do good for someone else's program, especially with fur type. His fur type is absolutely spectacular. So we're going to take him to show, see if anybody wants to buy him and if we can get some legs on him. If not, unfortunately, he's not going to fit into our program, so he might go end up in the freezer. This is Moose. He is our Champagne d'Argent buck, and he is the counterpart to Belle. He is the reason I haven't eaten all my Champagne d'Argents yet, just because he is just amazing. We have taken him to show on multiple occasions. Every time we go, he's always bringing something home. We have multiple best of breeds on him. We have a best of show on him. He has a grand champion from fair. He is just an amazing little guy, and he is so sweet. And we have lovingly nicknamed him the Meat Brick because he is just solid. He is huge, and he is just a wonderful buck, and I absolutely love him, and he is just an amazing part of our program. He is shedding right now, but I think everything in my barn is shedding. But if you want an amazing buck, Moose is the buck. He is the best 4-H FFA easy to handle boy ever. Oh, I love this guy. The chickens aren't out of their coop yet, so I figured this is a great time to kind of go in and give a little tour. So over on this stack, I have a bunch of does. On the very top, we have Belle, we have one who is nesting, we have Lizzie, and we have Emma. This top row right here is just all standard Rex, except for Belle, who won't be there soon, and we'll replace her with a couple of Rex kits for grow out. On the second row, we just have our mini Rex. And I'm rearranging. On the bottom row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 cages of Californian, and then over on this side, I'll do 2 cages of Silver Fox. But right now, I just have those girls in a stack on the other side of the barn. Right here, we have our keeper grow-outs in the corner in one of the grow-out pens. We have Vanessa, who has a nest box. And we have our mini Rex female grow-out cage. Over on this stack, we have our Rex bucks, so I have a Lemon. And down here on the bottom, we have Mr. Alpha. By the end of the season, I will only have one of these bucks. I'm just currently growing Lemon out to see if he's going to be better than his father is after he grows out. Over here, we have Raven, we have Tati, and on the bottom, we have Mr. Pudgikin's Strawberry. And then over on this corner, we have Eduardo, we have Moose. Wiley is hiding in that cage. You can't see him because he is the darkness. And, of course, Freaky Boy in the corner. And then here we have the butcher barn. Say hi to the peoples, Max. And the butcher barn is mostly just hay and food and my daily horse riding equipment. But we have our Rex butchers in here. And we have Miss Nina. And our escape artist Zeus, who needed a special cage because he keeps getting out of the other cages. So he gets to go in the cage that I normally reserve for difficult does that freak out during pregnancy. Frickin' Zeus. And of course we have the chicken coop. And we have the quail coop. But that's really everything. Nothing too fancy. Everything was built in the 70s and we're just slowly refurbishing it. When it comes to our rabbit pelts, we will collect them in the freezer till we get about 15 to 20 of them, and then we will take them out and we will either pickle or tan them. And once that process is done, we might sell the better ones at the farmer's market, or we will just use the others for crafts, so making like blankets and hats and mittens. When it comes to the bones, I'll make bone broth. And normally I can make quite a few batches of bone broth before the bones become brittle. And then once the bones are brittle, we can just grind them up and put them into our compost. We strive on doing everything possible to use every single part of the rabbit that we can when we butcher. We try to make sure nothing goes to waste. The edible internal organs go to the dogs. The not quite so edible ones go to the chickens. This question popped up perfectly in time for my 3 o'clock post. I personally prefer bucks when it comes to the kids. Bucks are more mellow in temperament, they're more even-keeled no matter what time of year it is. I find does can be more moody and can be a little out of sorts if not bred. So I personally preferred bucks. When it comes to breeds for kids, be it show or pet or anything like that, mini Rex, 100% mini Rex all the way. My 5-year-old has a lilac otter buck in her room that is a mini Rex. His name is Gigi, and he is just a treat when it comes to the kids. He's a big flop of furry love. My child sticks her fingers in his mouth to check his teeth. He just sits there and takes it. She can trim his nails, no questions asked. She needs to pick him up and take him somewhere or wants to play with him. He has no qualms with it. So yeah, mini Rex is my preferred breed for kids as well. This is Strawberry, and I figured with the amount I slander this buck, y'all would get sick of him, but apparently not, because he is just the bestest boy ever. For those of you following his weight loss journey, he is down ½ a pound. We have about a ½ of a pound to go before he is in a showable weight range again. But when he is showable and we take him to a show, we are going to be getting at least a best of breed, if not a best of show. Strawberry is my daughter's show buck. He is constantly in our youth shows, and he just does absolutely outstanding. He is just thick. He has amazing fur density. He is just a ball, absolutely outstanding. I love this buck, and all of the mini Rex that you have been seeing that are babies have been out of him because he is the sire of our program currently. So he's improving our type greatly, and he is just giving us beautiful, beautiful babies. I absolutely love this buck. This is Freak. Freak is shedding really badly right now, but this is a really good example of a nice short shoulder going into a high point. He's almost compact in type. He works really well at improving our lines when it comes to shoulders. This doe is so heavy, she reminds me why we normally don't do Californians with youth shows. All right, this is Tati. Let's get her posed up for you, and I'll give you an example of a longer shoulder. So now if you compare to this girl right here, has a longer shoulder than Freak. So Freak had a very nice, tight, compact type. And then when we get Tati posed up, she has this much longer shoulder, much longer than 2 fingers. I think we're about 3 fingers with her. So because her shoulder is so long, we use Freak to kind of shorten up their baby's shoulders. Also, this is a massive rabbit. First off, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. When it comes to the rabbits I'm most proud of producing right now, I would have to say it's these little chinchilla babies. Or maybe Mrs. Jealous Freddy because she's just so cute. But I would have to say the chinchillas because in order to get this color line, I had to get a rabbit that was completely out of standard because chinchillas are super hard to find. The color's just not very popular, and when you do find it, finding it in standard is such a pain in the butt. So I got my out of standard buck, started breeding him into my standard does, and I've just been slowly working at bringing the color back to standard. So basically on these chinchillas, I had to fix size, I had to fix type, I had to fix rings, and this generation is just absolutely amazing. They are growing out to be the correct size. Their type has improved dramatically. And even if you look at their coloring, it's just absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to get them onto the show table, which will hopefully happen here at the end of the month. Then I have this nematode. Are you a little nematode, Freddy? Is you a little nematode? Naughty girl. You so bad. In Freddy's generation, we've been working on coat type, and she just has a lovely coat right now. Now, I have quite a few months before I can actually test it to see if it truly does stand on end, but so far, so good. Oh, now this one's jealous. Hey, baby. Hey, mamas. No? Okay. Well, my alarm system is set for in the rabbit barn. No one's gonna come in here without me knowing.